From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
I'm Brandon Warren, and coming up, we'll be off to the races with some new faces. More details coming soon.
And take a live look at the Stockman Bank weather cam tonight as the heat holds on. A red flag warning is now in place for the next 36 hours as temperatures soar and winds pick up, creating critical fire conditions. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on your Monday. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, Montana temperatures creep up on a number of major records today, and now strong storms have moved into our area. For more on that, we are going to head straight to Ed McIntosh in the Q2 Weather Center. Well, Ed, these storms have picked up a lot of steam this afternoon. Where are they right now?
Yeah, basically from the Billings area off, just moving towards the east now. You can see a severe thunderstorm warning into effect from around the Billings Heights up towards Shepherd, Warden, Pompey's Pillar area. Here's where the radar is this afternoon. Mainly this is producing some very strong wind gusts, but also quite a bit of lightning, and we are seeing some small hail. Winds could be in excess of 60 miles an hour with some of these cells. You see some of it into Bighorn County up to around Custer as well, and moving across the eastern plains. Pretty much everything right along that single line right now. It will continue to see those push off towards the east here through the evening hours. The blue arrows indicate where some of the strong winds will develop around those storms this evening. They settle down overnight, but we're not quite done with the heat yet. We've got a lot to talk about in weather. That's coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thanks so much, Ed. Well, the near record-setting temperatures just add more fuel to the fires burning across the region. At this hour, we are aware of a grass fire that has broken out in the Heights near Skyview High School. We do have a reporter on scene or heading to the scene right now, and we'll bring you the very latest. Meanwhile, the Richard Spring fire burning near Ashland, Lame Deer, and Colstrip has now scorched nearly 171,000 acres and is 65% contained. While the fire's northern perimeter is in patrol status, hot spots are still burning along the fire's eastern and southwestern perimeter. Gusty winds could lead to flare-ups or even spot fires. Now, we're being told crews have made excellent progress securing line near Lame Deer and the Highway 212 corridor. However, fire managers are still concerned that northwesterly winds could threaten new fire lines and structures. Now, the Lame Deer fire at nearly 5,500 acres is 60% contained tonight. Well, next Monday, most Billings students and teachers will hit the books for another year of school. They'll enter an environment that's changed significantly since last spring. As Q2's Mitch Laggy reports, tonight, School District 2 board members will meet for the last time before that first school bell rings.
In a Billings School Board meeting scheduled for Monday night, trustees will get a final update on the COVID-19 policies heading into the school year from the superintendent. Billings students and teachers start in-person classes next Monday, August 23rd. No standalone remote learning platform will be offered in the 2021-22 school year in the Billings Public Schools. Superintendent Greg Upham said in late July that masking in schools will be encouraged but is not required, as he wants to start the school year as normal as possible. Different from last year, school administrators will not be responsible for contact tracing COVID-19 cases and quarantining students and staff. That task will fall to the county health department. School staff will still be taking some COVID precautions, like increased sanitation measures. Last year, the Billings Public Schools reported 986 COVID cases among students and 327 cases among staff. Board trustees are also scheduled to hear an update about the budget and the status of about $12 million in federal coronavirus relief money. Reporting in Billings, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
All right, thanks so much, Mitch. And as a reminder, the superintendent does have discretion to require masks be worn by teachers and students at any point in this school year. Well, nearly 2 years after the body of a Crow tribal woman was found face down in the backyard of a Hardin home, the Bighorn County attorney says the death of 18-year-old Sarah Stops at Pretty Places is not forgotten and is still under investigation. A jogger noticed the body behind the home near Mitchell Avenue and Rangeview Drive on Thursday, August 29th of 2019. That's 4 days after Sarah apparently went missing. An autopsy ruled her death as undetermined after the medical examiner found no evidence of injury or natural disease and detected a blood alcohol level of 0.149. The new report states that in the early morning hours of August 25th, Stops at Pretty Places was outside a home on Rangeview Drive with two females, ages 17 and 19, and a 23-year-old man. As an argument ensued, a neighbor remotely activated the lights and horn of his vehicle, which sent the three running in different directions. Stops at Pretty Places apparently fled to the backyard, where she was found dead 4 days later. Now, DNA samples collected from her body and under her fingernails found no foreign DNA. The report also states in April of that year, stops at Pretty Places had been found unresponsive at Hardin High School due to a high level of alcohol intoxication. Additional medical records also confirmed she had asthma. An independent review found the level of alcohol in her body when found dead was comparable to the amount of alcohol in her body during the school year. Now, the report concludes announcing a federal agency has offered to assist with the active investigation, and Harris has agreed. Well, COVID-19 numbers continue to skyrocket across Montana as the state reports nearly 500 new cases today. The total number of active cases now stands at more than 2,700, with active hospitalizations just shy of 200. Yellowstone County reports the second most cases today with 59 as we near 400 active cases tonight. And it's not only the overall numbers that have state health officials concerned. It's the fact that Montana continues to see an increase in variant cases. Tonight, MTN's John Riley breaks down that data.
The United States is seeing an increase of COVID-19 cases. Montana is no different. And just like the rest of the country, we're seeing an increase of Delta variant cases and hospitalizations of the unvaccinated. Although Montana isn't anywhere near the height of case numbers, hospitalizations, and deaths we saw during late last fall and winter, the data shows the state is in an upward swing of another wave.
When I was looking at the numbers last week, we are at about the same level as we were last October.
The increase in cases has led to Lewis and Clark Public Health needing to hire back additional staff to keep up with contact tracing. While the Alpha or UK variant has seen the most variant cases in Montana so far, the state says the Delta variant is making up ground and has become the dominant strain in recent weeks. On July 28th, the Delta variant represented 7% of the total reported variant cases in Montana. A week later, that had grown to 10%. By August 11th, it represented 18% of total reported variant cases. With the increase in COVID cases, the state has also seen an increase of interest in getting vaccinated. The demand was high enough in Lewis and Clark County. A drive-through clinic was held on Saturday where 95 shots were administered.
We're hoping that more and more people get vaccinated because that really is the best defense for this pandemic.
The Delta variant has Montana public health and medical institutions concerned. The variant is having a greater impact on younger age groups, with more children, teens, and young mothers needing medical treatment for complications. This past winter, for confirmed COVID cases, we saw about 1 in 20 result in hospitalization. Currently, for Delta variant cases, it's around 1 in 8. Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
Thanks, John. Here in the Magic City, Riverstone Health has 2 more free vaccination clinics scheduled for the rest of August. The first is this Friday, August 20th at Riverstone Health's Lil Anderson Center. That runs from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. And the final clinic this month is slated for Monday, August 30th, which also runs from 11 to 1. Well, as expected, Planned Parenthood of Montana has filed suit to overturn several new state laws that restrict abortion and abortion coverage. The group filed its lawsuit today in State District Court here in Billings, saying the new laws violate privacy and other individual rights under the state constitution. MTN Chief Political Reporter Mike Dennison has that story.
Republican majorities at the 2021 legislature and Republican Governor Greg Gianforte enacted the new laws, which restrict and regulate abortion in several ways in Montana. Abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy are banned. Women considering an abortion must be offered to see an ultrasound of the fetus. And one new law creates numerous new regulations for abortion-inducing pills or medication abortion, such as requiring women to see a health professional in person at least 2 times during and after the procedure. The suit filed Monday also seeks to overturn a law that bans coverage of abortion in private insurance policies that are federally subsidized under the Affordable Care Act. The lawsuit says the new laws violate Montana's strict right of privacy, in this case for women to make their own medical decisions. Planned Parenthood CEO Martha Stahl also said Monday the suit has national and regional implications. She says if the newly aligned U.S. Supreme Court allows states to impose more restrictions on abortion, access to abortion services in Montana become even more vital.
I think what's likely to happen is, and is already happening, is we end up with a patchwork across the country. And it's really important to us here in Montana to make sure that we are protecting access for both people who live in Montana, but also for folks, frankly, who live in surrounding states who already don't have much access.
The sponsor of the medication abortion bill, Representative Sharon Grief of Florence, says it's about protecting women from potential negative effects of the drugs. But Stahl said healthcare providers already have their patients' safety foremost in mind and don't need the state imposing pages of unnecessary new regulations. The suit named Attorney General Austin Knudsen as a defendant. In a statement Monday, Knudsen said Montana voters in 2020 overwhelmingly rejected the, quote, extreme pro-abortion positions, end quote, of Democrats and Planned Parenthood, and that he looks forward to successfully defending laws he called clearly valid. Of course, no matter who's elected, they still have to follow the state constitution, and the Montana judiciary will be deciding whether these new abortion laws do that or not. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Thanks, Mike. And the suit also asked the state court to block 3 of the laws from taking effect October 1st while this case is decided. Well, up next on tonight's MTN 530 News on Q2, well, this isn't Churchill Downs and these aren't horses, but there's a different kind of race taking place over at Montana Fair. We'll bring you the lineup in minutes.
I'm Casey Conlon. Billings Senior is well into its first week of 2021 football practice on the Dayla Stadium turf with one extremely notable absence. We'll talk about the future of the team concept now that their star has moved on.